We talked a lot about the Alchemist, but brought up something. Let's discuss the Slark.
I don't like this Slark. I don't really understand it. I mean, I can understand one part of it. Obviously, if you win a fight, you're able to take a tower. You have a stun that obviously it's 2 seconds at all levels, so that's cool. But there's a reason nobody really picks it. For some reason, they still have this super keen idea on grabbing in the first 2 as well. When it's not really the strongest thing, you see at one point it becomes a ring streak. He pretty much
was two-shot dying all over the place for Sumail when Sumail had Yasha, BOTs, and Radiance. The stun.
Yeah, I'm personally not a fan of it. I don't really know many other people are, but I don't know if we'll be seeing it again here. And I think we won't be seeing the Alchemist either. We will probably see the Complexity either ban it out or draft it up themselves early, but they just ban it because I think even though we said EG doesn't really play a whole lot of Alchemist, we struggle a bit with it. I think this is the second time now that we've seen them actually versus Complexity break almost 1200 GPM on Sumail with that Alchemist. So I would hope so that they just get rid of that. Same kind of bans though, and EG just goes straight up for the Wisp again.
And does Complexity pick something to try and deal with the Wisp more direct? This is the question. There's a really strong laning support. The Warlock is available. There's a lot of other teams favor that hero. Do they pick the mid-game counters as far as teamfight goes? Or do they just stick to their guns? Well, this is Swindles. He is certainly a man of strong opinion. And he will immediately pick the Slark anyway. And the face you just made.
Okay, I mean,
said it all.
If he wants to, like, I guess that's like what they feel like is very good. I guess if he gets a lot of kills early on and they just win a lot of team fights, they're able to pressure towers very easily with it. But
otherwise, you have a 4v5 coming. I mean, that's just the reality. And they're even going to go Slardar. So Complexity, this, at least for now, is saying we had a great draft last game. We executed. Maybe they'll change it up a little bit. Maybe we don't see the Slark, but the salty runback is coming. And that's how it appears.
I mean, okay.
Yeah, you're like, great. Well,
okay.
We'll do the same shit. It worked for us.
Right? EG's like, well, I guess they want to do the same thing, so we can do the same thing.
You are not watching a replay, though. It might play out the same way. Then they could change it up by banning the Alch a little bit as well. So they Complexity considers maybe they bait the Alch and then they grab, I don't know, Ursa, something that's a little bit better against him. But they stick to the Axe ban.
Stick to the Axe ban as well. Okay, please ban. Please.
I think they're just trying to make everyone trip out here. Like all the viewers, like, are we watching replays? This rebroadcast? Is the series already?
Their EG's gonna just follow suit as well. I mean, why wouldn't they, right? It worked so well for them the last game. They're like, alright, we'll ban the Timber too. Timber's great versus Io. He's frustrating versus Lifestealer in a way, obviously, because he's super mobile.
Perfect.
If it worked, why would you change it?
The moment of great suspense is now upon us, and they will
thank you.
Out.
Okay, so we're gonna change it a little bit.
Stop toying with our hearts here.
The Slark nerd pick was probably something that they might want to stay away from as well. Obviously, it's a decent matchup. It's okay versus Lifestealer if you just snowball out of control, but you need to I feel like you need to rush the Shadow Blade in that manner. Not get all these small little items. You want to rush the Shadow Blade, get a bunch of pickoffs up, and then just put EG on the back foot if you're gonna do something like that. But personally, I would personally like them just saving the Slark later. When you grab it so early, you kind of set yourself to a weird position.
And number 4 for EG.
What did they ban last time? I don't remember what the ban. Was it the Jug? It might have actually been the Jug. Yeah, it might have actually been the Jug. Great matchup versus the Sailor in later stages. Good versus the Wisp. Just a strong hero, safe hero. I don't know why. Okay. Each region kind of has their own different way of drafting, so it's very different to see Rubik kind of just be left away when a lot of teams first pick the Rubik in a bunch of different regions, and Lashrak's not a region-based hero. That's just a complexity thing.
Number 3 now to come for Complexity. So last time when they went for Slark here, EG immediately replied Spiritbreaker Darkseer. Just looking to really punish the lanes, the weak lanes that Complexity had. They go into the Slark again, or do we see a bigger change up? I mean, we've talked about Naga, Invoker, Tinker, there's some other cores they could consider running.
I could wait for the Naga a little bit further, but yeah, it's definitely one of the options that is possible. Yeah, it's what they like. So do what they decide to do. I mean, it's really hard to really predict how Complexity likes to go with it because it's very different from a lot of how these other teams go. They kind of just pick their own style rather than counter picking lately.
You like there's no room for Warlock in these drafts also, because he's been getting ignored. I mean, they ran Mirana last game. Normally Warlock goes great with Mirana, especially as carry.
I mean, the Warlock can work decent, but I mean...
Do you think he's overrated? Because a lot of other teams just like, no matter what, they're just gonna... He's out there.
I think he's a bit overrated, but you can play around it, but he does have that, he's just... If you make a mistake around it, you can just lose the game in pretty much like 2 ultimates. You just get grabbed by Fatal Bonds, it just brings damage. Okay.
EG's turn.
Okay. I mean, it's
I wish that we were on
curious.
camera right now.
It's just curious to me because
you don't say anything. You just I just see that you're like, all right, I'm gonna take a moment here, collect myself.
It's just like
maintain professionalism.
It didn't work before.
Unleash your.
But they really want to go for it again, so it's
embrace the hate.
Okay. Well, so the first 2 picks, you can kind of see why they would grab, right? There's no lockdown obviously between the Wisp and the Lifestealer. Slark in later stages matches up decent for Lifestealer. Early on, maybe struggles a bit, and he can always just go for it in the back line, pick off the Wisp. So there's that. They have the amplified damage to. He's not, there's a reason why people haven't really been favoring him so much either. He takes too long. He takes a long time to really hit that point where he just becomes super powerful. Okay.
Not surprising.
Not surprising to see EG just go for the same thing, just be able to pressure him.
I like the fact that EG we're just gonna run the same draft. Even if they have another strategy they could run, there's no reason to show it. If they're confident they can beat complexity, they're gonna run the same draft.
Maybe they might switch the Spirit Breaker this time. I mean, it worked pretty decently for them last time, but maybe Zai's just I didn't like playing that. I just died.
I don't like dying.
I just died. I had 9 deaths, but I did my job, but I just kind of died all over the place.
I mean, the one other thing maybe they change up is if they want the Storm, because I don't think they're getting it if they really value that for Suno. Puck, though, is another solid option, as you mentioned. The one thing I don't really love about the Puck is that they lack ways to take objectives.
Yeah, they lack ways to take objectives. It's just one of those heroes that I know Sumo used to love playing, so that's why I kind of said it. He's been playing it a decent amount in pubs too, and it's always a good vehicle for the Lifestealer. It pairs well with massive team fight, and it's good versus the 3 heroes that Complexity does draft up here. But I think we'll see a change from Complexity. Last time they picked the Mirana. We'll see if they pick it again. Is this a replay?
I mean, maybe they feel it's more viable with no Alk. Is there anyone else who's similarly difficult?
There we go.
There's the cool.
EG's
Okay, OD. Good against all of these heroes, really. Tons of burst to kill the IO. You can kite the Lifestealer with the Astral. Late game, you can hex him and just blow him up. Darkseer, you can even lane against him and banish him when he tries to surge away if you don't run a mid. So this feels like a very solid pick.
Yeah, he's got the kite type of Lifestealer, but Lifestealer, it's one of those matchups that's kind of back and forth, because Lifestealer obviously has Rage built in naturally, so you can't use your Arcane Orb on him, and you're able to kind of you can kind of blow him up really quickly if you're able to bring him down once his Astral's on cooldown. But yeah, it's kind of one of those matchups that we do see happen quite a lot. And yeah, Cancel. I mean, this is probably Cancel's most comfortable hero, and it gives them more setup. Now they're able to get the Astral into the Lashdark stun combo. They have something to easily set it up rather than Lashdark has to then it's a Slark stun because he doesn't blink in, then it's a Mirana arrow, something super difficult to kind of pull off. This makes it much easier. And now maybe they'll change it up and put, maybe a different core. Maybe they won't have Lashdark Slardar support. So I kind of hope so. I kind of hope they go for a different aspect other than that. Maybe just not really want an Abaddon either. Put the Slardar in the off lane, pick up a second support. Maybe a Mirana for Z-Freak, easily set up with the OD Astral into arrow.
Also, now they actually need the Lesh, because they are really bad at taking buildings without him.
Yeah.
I mean, either him or someone else. EG, pick number 4. Space Cow was the choice last time. This is also another way to interrupt charge, so maybe Spirit Breaker even less appealing.
So that's another Zai hero. Because they definitely want to save. I mean, actually, they don't have to save Sumel's hero for last now.
We've
obviously.
seen the Venomancer, and he's already bad.
Yeah, Veno's the bread and butter for EG. Lexi's played versus it way too much. So they go for the Earth Spirit. Yeah, definitely going for a change-up. Very good versus the Slark, giving you more AoE potential. Great versus pretty much everything on the side of Complexity if he's able to get his spells off. Silence, obviously, versus OD is great. Not able to get his spells off. And just it gives you that wombo combo with the Darkseer Earth Spirit and the lane pressure.
10 seconds remaining.
Cool thing about the Earth Spirit too is, he gives you another vehicle. Just like kind of the Spirit Breaker, you can just infest inside the Earth Spirit when he's bouldering in and just kind of...
He's still pretty good with the dual Ion Shell lane pressure.
Yeah.
Another hero that can get on top of a Slark and stay there early in the game. So, EG still, as usual, hiding the Sumail pick. Now, I do want to mention, as far as selection priority, Complexity opted for Dire, so EG took the first pick. So I guess one of the advantages is having that last pick to counter whatever EG are throwing your way. What is that going to be? They ban the Sniper, they leave the Storm out there, but I mean, as you mentioned, Giannis, Astral into either Leshrac Stun or Slardar Crush, pretty good kill potential on a Storm.
But in later stages, it's kind of hard for him to get locked down from the Complexity has now. We'll see if they actually go for it.
If it's a core Slardar, you could still grab with the last maybe.
Mm-hmm. They still kind of lack a
silencer
building hitter for EG. Lifestealer's okay, but he's not really like one that really comes to mind when you think about that. So they banned the Abaddon this time.
So they're expecting that support Slardar still.
Mm-hmm.
I do like the idea of Complexity mixing up, just to keep EG on their toes and not be able to just easily interpret every pick based on previous drafts.
10 seconds remaining.
I think that this is already a much stronger approach by them. They have heroes that can heroes that can fight a little bit early and let the Slark get space.
Reserve time.
EG won. Fifth pick, Sumail hero. Sumail Invoker.
Yeah.
I was about to say Invoker is out there. How good of an Invoker game is it?
It gives you more scaling, gives you split push factor as well, and I mean it gives you like that AoE potential to be able to blow up the Slark inside of that, and it's one of Sumail's like kind of comfort heroes. So they said they have like, you know, scaling potential into like the later stages with Lifestealer and Invoker. They have even more wombo combo for team fight with the Earth Spirit and Dark Seer and Invoker. And Flexi does do kind of like as expected. They don't really want to put the Slardar as support again this time. This time they're throwing in the offlane, picking up a secondary guy, Undying. Matches pretty well versus Earth Spirit. But also cool thing for EG this time, I was going to mention it and then I kind of forgot, but it's Crit going to be playing the Earth Spirit obviously because that's Crit Earth Spirit, like Crit God, you know, that's like one of his most comfortable heroes. So Zai Wisp this time, bit of a change up. We do see Zai tends to be more so the greedy player, while Crit kind of like lets himself go, and we'll see how they tend to opt which one's gonna.
I mean, this draft is probably the Iowa, I would guess.
Yeah, Crit usually, at least from what we saw when he used to play with OG with the Earth Spirit, he would just go like Tranquil Boots into Blink, just rush that Blink.
Constantly, ganking, pressuring, and making space. So for Complexity, up here.
I like this much better, at least though, for goal. And of course, yeah, like we kind of mentioned before, guys, one of the PCs does crash quite a lot when we do load into the game right away.
To make sure the casters are still wheel.
Yep. Just to show, since you guys can't really see it right now, we do have like a level 1 smoke by EG, but it's just a warding mission for the most part. Crit just ports out, puts a ward, kind of just watch the big camp from Complexity and watch the movements. They do actually, I think, maybe see Swindlemelons put a lane ward as well.
Loading back in, and it is going to be the. I like the Undying pick a lot this game. I feel like this is something that really puts pressure on the lanes against IO. It can be devastating early on, especially
gives them
because the hero is a strength hero.
Yeah, it gives them that dual lane that they can actually do something in. Because last time I kind of thought that Z-Freak was going to go to the off lane right away, but Monkey's got heavily pressured, wasn't able to really get his levels that he wanted. But this time that's going to be different. They're going to have the Undying Slardar combo in that off lane and just pressure the left a bit, but also just make sure that Monkeys is able to get a safer lane.
Oh, just double checking here as far as ward drops. Do see 2 out for EG already.
And EG did see the ward placed by Swindlemelons in the laning phase, so Universe easy D ward there, gets himself a nice 100 gold 25 experience.
Yeah. Down here is a bit less important here. No Alchemist in the game, but still the team's gonna look for the contest, move, and cancel. All pile on top of that top room, the bottom one.
Oh, they got both?
Be grabbed by Monkeys, and not sure if they're going to chase them all the way out. They move on, but no Orb of Venom.
Arteezy also, he even skilled Rage there to try to dodge the stun for Monkeys and grab the rune, but Monkeys was to click on it than him.
That's a little less harass with the first creep wave. No right clicks available from Feast. Potentially the open wounds for the chase, so. They are going to dual lane, and nice, this is a strong dual lane against IO Lifestealer.
Yeah, this should put a good amount of pressure on Arteezy. Zai's just gonna have to be very keen on just trying to get as many pulls as possible. He can't stack on top of Arteezy and get crushed or double decayed. Yeah, we can already see him getting insanely pressured by this dual lane. This is so much better for him. Next game, you don't even really need to say it.
But we'll say it again.
We'll say it again.
It's a whole lot better.
Yeah. Even the top lane, it's probably not the best. They're dealing with the Darkseer Earth Spirit, but they're just gonna let the pull, get their levels. It's a totally different approach. It's a much smarter way to play.
Mid lane, Sumail putting a lot of pressure on Cancel here early though. Heavy harass. So charging in, just gonna banish him. Kind of salty banish there. Back off. Now does have a salve available if need be. Now with the Quax Orb, can himself back up a bit more cheaply. So far, Universe definitely able to stay in lane more easily, as you mentioned, with the Earth Spirit help. So not seeing Crit rotate towards mid at all yet. I think they're just going to leave the Invoker to his own devices, and
yeah,
Sumail king of laning is...
Yeah, Cancel actually, because Sumail like quick turned and auto-attacked the range creep bump on the hill when he was retreating. Cancel actually expected him to have a lane ward on his hill, so he actually pinged out in the mid lane, letting his team know that, so now it's gonna put a little different idea into their heads, but there is no lane ward there, at least it's not on that side, it's on the bottom side. So he was right about the lane ward being there, just not on the right positioning. And yeah, this dual lane is just putting so much pressure on RTZ. He's able to farm decently, but this is the difference. Monkey's actually able to get something in the lane, unlike the last time, and they even emphasize on blocking with Z-Free, because that's the only way that EG really like comes out ahead in this lane. It's just constantly chain pulling.
Uh-oh, Cancel. This might be the first blood, though, as Crit threatens movement. Didn't actually have Rolling Boulder. There was no banish with the DD, and I think they had a window there. But timing is not quite right. Meanwhile, Arteezy bottom lane trying to fight, but Z-Freak very scary as the zombie man gets off another decay, though he is dropping pretty low, jukes into the trees, has stick charges, has Sal, has Fairy Fire, and has Tango. Monkey's just gonna sprint, phase right past him, gets the 2-hero crush. Here comes the turnaround. Perhaps Monkey's low, though. Z-Freak trying to get onto Zai as quickly as possible. That tether slow is doing work, but Crit, meanwhile, does find the first blood. He went back in on mid, gets the kill. Then Monkey's may drop Arteezy, meanwhile, no, the heal from Z-Freak. The Sundying pick really paying off. The Sunstrike coming in with the open wound slow. Kaboom! Arteezy will find it. Make it 2. So Sumail off to a hot start now. 13-5 in the mid lane. They did get the first blood mid while that was all happening. Cancel gonna have to TP back.
That's a big kill on Cancel. That was a great rotation there from Crit. I kind of feel like Cancel should have expected after he saw him like walk toward the mid lane the first time around, but
he doesn't have a ward, but yeah, still should have expected there's a chance he's in.
That's the fear of when you use your Astral aggressively in that manner. Like, you put yourself into a position where you can actually get ganked up. And yeah, he does.
Is this a new salve, or did he just never use the other one? He was pretty low earlier.
I didn't actually see. I thought he had actually used it, but maybe Crit got him, like, maybe as he was using it or something like that. But
not sure.
It's definitely a huge kill, though, for Sumail. Putting him quite ahead now in the lane, able to get his range drop up. Just having a little bit more of advantage of an experience as well. Well, actually, it's actually pretty deep. Thought he'd be a little bit more ahead.
Gonna neutral deny hero, get the lane to Z-Freak. The Fountain Trip. Leads the Tranquil Boots. Armor and regen very helpful against Lifestealer, obviously. But the offlane for EG is just getting out of hand as far as net worth goes. 19 CS on Universe, completely uncontested.
Good with the haste rune.
Been a really good time here. They
Monkey's
might punish him with a crush.
It's actually cool. Monkey's actually TP'd mid, expecting this rotation. There's a haste rune on Crit, it's very hard to bring him down. And Monkeys might actually get turned on here. Do they have cold snap?
They're gonna roll onto him. Sunstrike not gonna connect though. Monkeys with the Tranquil Boots a little bit tankier. He tries to go for the crush. That one last cold snap proc interrupts the crush attempt. They still might be able to get crit though. Into the trees they go, winding their way through. The rage creep cooperating. He goes for the boulder smash and then over to the left. The orb not doing all that much, but they will get the kill. Good rotation, and like you said, really nice anticipation there by the Slark.
Yeah, that was very smart by Monkeys, honestly. Like, he just expected that type of rotation, and he doesn't mind giving the lane to the Undying now on this bottom side, because Undying's able to do pretty decent versus Lifestealer in that type of manner.
A little trouble here for Mr. Cancel. Just auto attacks could be enough to bring him down.
The last ball didn't hit.
The range. Doesn't have the mana for Sunstrike. Could clarity up and go for it, but that's a pretty big gamble at this point.
Yeah. How's top lane going? How's this Universe
is
doing?
Having a
I mean, it's kind of expected. Like, it's a dark
move. Pounce away. Boulder smash. A double whiff by Crit, just barely though. As he tries to keep eyes on Moon, not level 6 yet. This is the time to punish him. Through the trees he goes, winding his way. Still has the Quelling Blade. Crit getting juked slightly, quelling his way out, but still the Ion Shell burning, and Crit's persistence pays off. Finds the kill anyway, man. Oh, Moo was getting it out there.
Those are nice little jukes there. And Monkeys moves back bottom. Now Swindles, even though he TP'd bottom, now he's making the rotation to mid. So this is where they might do the combo. This is where they might do the Astral into the stun, but see if they go for it. Swindle's more keen on just checking the rune first off.
Yeah, worth mentioning that combo not going to be very effective. Lifestealer with the instant rage.
Yes. Sumail pulling quite far ahead in this mid lane though. Cancel only seeing a 14 CS move, getting heavily pressured top lane. He does have the pounce to get away, but he's silenced, vacuum, and he's dead again.
Such a good job at just punishing the Slark right before he hits 6. Once he's 6, kill's almost certainly not happening, at least not just with these two. Now the TP out, Crit gonna roll away. Doesn't have a teleport scroll, but they're not even gonna bother chasing him. Make it out too, and that's 2 deaths for Moo.
I have to say, I think this is a bit of a mismovement there by Swindles. Like he ported bottom. He's been kind of like running around the river in a way, rather than helping his buddy top lane. And that kind of happens when you're left alone as a Slark. You're versus an Earth Spirit Darkseer. You're gonna get heavily pressured, and you're probably gonna die like that. So definitely want Swindle to be staying near his buddy Moo in that top lane.
Sticking around the jungle, he's gonna go for the golden eye, but guess who's about to find him? Crit. So close. Guys, I need help.
He's again,
scared.
die.
I'm scared.
Can they spawn again?
Oh,
please.
And there'll be Alpha Wolves too, but he runs into Moo instead. Moo pouncing away as soon as he sees Crit, and then he's like, wait a second. That guy's low. I think he saw him, right? It's nighttime, but Slark has pretty good vision. Anyway.
He probably saw like the mini-map icon and just got afraid there instead of like actually clicking on him and seeing how he is. Bottom lane.
Bottom lane, Monkey's gonna go down. So Complexity, nothing really working out. Swindles will get the Edict off. Arteezy does not have a rage, but he has an Infest available. There's the pounce in for Moo, and quickly looking to escape. Should be able to pop out momentarily, just waiting for the rage to cool down, I believe.
Yep, and he's good. He should cancel out. Now at the rotation.
Piven here, Zai's not level 6 yet, though he is close. And they're gonna look to find him as he tries to tether his way out of this one. Zai will get caught, focused down Arteezy into the river. Monkeys does have the sprint available. He's currently open wounds, but it's about to erupt.
Catch him.
If he can get a crush, it should lead to a kill. Very little mana on Arteezy, trying for the juke, but you can't juke. Fish. Swindles will move in, but there's a melee creep here, tanking up the Diabolic Edict. He's even gonna grab a bounty, or he might even get roached tonight. They can't be letting this happen. Crush, banish. No chance. But meanwhile, all that chasing, it's a tier 1 for EJ.
Lots of space for the Earth Spirit and Darkseer. Level 8 already on Universe. Arcane Boot, Soul Ring. He's the full farm mentality build. Gonna have a very early mech on top of that. And Crit, being up there with Universe constantly, he's already level 5 on this roaming Earth Spirit. So it's very good for him getting that early level 6. And Sumail even picks up an 8-minute Midas bottom lane. Zai getting pressured pretty heavily,
is Zai gonna find a kill here? He's turning around for Crit. He's gonna get one. He looks towards Monkeys.
Oh, he's relocating
in. Got him! Another connection. He relocates forward. But the XP will go to Sumail.
Was that blind? I don't think he had. I think he may have had like a slight glimpse of vision.
The creep, I think, saw him like in this area walking up. So I think the creeps were marching. Not sure, but didn't have full vision.
That's still pretty sick.
Well, Mal already Midas up 900 gold as well. 2-0 and 2. I mean, set up like Crit for sure with the first blood coming mid, but since then. Taking over. Meanwhile, OD only 27 CS Yannis. This has been a ganking OD. A lot of movement by Cancel, getting out laned, getting pressured, and now finding himself quite far behind his compadre and the Invoker.
Yeah, and the pressure that was causing that. Obviously, since the Astral was used, they tried to go for that pressure, but Cancel was definitely keen on moving back there. But yeah, since the dual lane pressures the Slark so heavily, he's trying to make like moves running around, but he's getting crushed now just in his net worth because of this. Like, he's in the bottom lane now. He doesn't really know where to go. Top lane is obviously a great place for him to farm, but...
Oh boy. Complexity going for the ambush, but little do they know, EG with the next level ambush of the ambush. Coming in hot, they're gonna go for the stun on Skywalker and then Sunstrike. Finding the connection as Zai tethers out. In comes Crit with the roll forward. There's a banish and EG looking to reset the fight. Moo charging forward. The tombstone is here. Nobody focusing it. Has to infest and pop away. Arteezy coming back into the back. He's surviving through a courtesy of the tether. How does this Lifestealer live? The dog survives forever and a day, and now the chase back in to Z-Freak. They'll kill off the Undying 2. 3 dead Moo. Hiding in the trees. No teleport for 19. I don't think EG realize it. But they do this without their full complement of heroes, because Sumail, yeah, he Sunstrikes, but he's just pushing in the mid lane. They might get 2 towers now.
Yeah, 4v5ing their Universe, getting the pretty much a god tier 3-man vacuum into wall, setting up everything for them. And now he's got the mech coming out there. That was without mech on Universe. But he actually might
He would also be a huge kill. They're gonna commit a dark panic here.
my
He
God.
goes down, but it comes with the cost of 2 more. Here's now Swindles running in. The feed train has arrived, and EG collect their bounty. The death pulses from the Diabolic Edict will at least kill off Zai, but still, EG, mountains of gold. Actually, that fight a win for Complexity, even though it's a 2 for 3, but losing the Slark, tough to say it was really worth it as he dies yet again. And look at their carries, Giannis. You've got a 3,500 net worth OD, over a 2,000 gold lead for Sumail, a Slark at 2,500. He's behind the IO and the Earth Spirit in net worth. This is just food stamp status, Slark.
When it's 11 minutes in and there's a 10,000 gold league, there's a big problem already. Your Slark is below every single person in net worth on the enemy team. Mu is just struggling super hard to be able to do anything in this game.
This is the time to stop first picking the track.
I think they have a bit more problems than just the left strike, but yeah, I think it's definitely not helping out with just their laning presence in the early game, because that's kind of what you want this left strike to do, to dominate a bit more in the early game. But yeah, it's not really happening, and they're definitely heavily struggling. After they had a pretty decent start in that dual off lane, it's just like the other 2 lanes got decimated too heavily. And since Universe did die in that last one, even though he died, he already had his mech finished up. He's got another 1,200 gold, and Crit survived that entire engagement. So we kind of mentioned he likes going for that Tranquil Boots into Dagger. It looks like that's what he's going to do. Tranquil and the 1,200 gold already on him, while Zai just picks up the urn, a nice little raindrop, and he'll probably progress into something else pretty soon.
Speaking of Crit, he's going to lead the charge here up towards top. Mu doesn't even feel safe to farm. He sees nobody defending bottom, and he realizes they probably are pushing top. EG make it clear now. Rage on Arteezy. Sumail joining the fray here for the push as he alacrities onto the tower. Bringing it down quickly. Complexity just so under farm. I can't really envision them trying to take a fight here. Mu, though, he doesn't realize there's a ward because he doesn't have the Shadow Dance move speed.
I mean, this is just
that tier 2.
There's no way, like, you can't have your Slark in this type of position. He's got nowhere to farm. They're pressuring this bottom lane, but Crit's in position already for the relocate. He's gonna go in on Monkeys Forever, gets the silence, gets the pull, gets the stun, and yeah, that's a very dead Slardar. Sumail even gets another last hit with Sunstrike there, so accelerating his farm more. He's already got the Yules finished up, he's got his level 11. He's just playing his own solo game and just setting up, just getting killed with Sunstrikes. And that's kind of like the cool thing about even getting the Yules too, is that if he does find anybody on their own, he's able to just pretty much one-shot them on his
Even Slark is a pretty easy one-shot if you get the full combo.
Absolutely.
How squishy he is. They will at least get his eye killed. Cancel able to find that connection, but again, you just struggle to see how Slark is going to get back in this game. He's now going for the Aquila. We're 13.5 minutes in, so if he does go Shadowblade, you're looking like, I don't know, 17, 18, maybe even 20 minutes before he gets that.
He's nowhere even near. He's even going back for a Ring of Aquila now too, so he's buying small items again, and he's not even gonna get a Shadow Blade. I don't think this game. He might get it as this game looks to be closing out, but yeah. EG being very keen on being much more aggressive this game when they have this Earth Spirit rather than Slardar, or Earth Spirit rather than the Spirit Breaker. So this is probably something that they're gonna take note of as well into like into the later stages of group stages and the main event. They're probably like, okay, Spirit Breaker was decent, but it just seems like this is just a better approach for them. It just fits with their style more, and it's much more aggressive and puts Complexity just more on the back foot. The last game, I think it was 12 minutes in, and there was a total of 7 kills. This game, 20 kills total. It's much more entertaining.
They're going to muscle down towers with Sumail playing the Invoker, which is a lot harder early than the out. And they are adjusting their tempo a bit to that.
Again, don't put a setup.
To defend top.
They got spotted though.
The ping did come out. That was from Mu.
Yeah.
They know they will not be getting caught trying to push this tower. But at the same time, it's a tier 1 still being kept alive simply by the presence of an Earth Spirit. If there is a hard support this game, he will be it, along with the IO, so. That just shows you how strong EG's lineup is in terms of mobility, that they can threaten to send 4 or 5 heroes instantly with the Infest Bomb, the Sunstrike, the TP from Universe. Speaking of TPs, Sumail, BOT is already online, so map control a big priority now for EG.
Yeah, usually with especially with the complex lineup, you have a less strike, you have an Undying, you really need your early game to go super well. They're already it's on such a back, but now top lane Crit actually does miss the Boulder Smash, so there's no stun there. Gets Astroed up, but Zai's in position there. They should probably be able to find the kill here on Crit. Let's see if the relocate gets him out. It does. The Crit off, the stun off the mark.
Meanwhile, bottom, look at Sumail for the combo. The vacuum comes through. They've already brought down 1 to start this fight, and he looks for more. It's Complexity gonna send the whole gang, but Arteezy has joined the fray as well. Sumail low, not dead just yet. Moo trying to focus him down. Can they get the kill? It's a huge one, and they do secure it. Can Moo make it out? Now it's a question of good crush by Monkeys. Staggered retreat as Arteezy slowly moves forward and then changes his mind, says, get me out of here. While that was all happening, they also get the Zai kill. EG giving up big ones. Now that did cost them a Slark buyback, but even with the buyback, still 1,000 gold swing in Complexity's favor.
Super good buyback there. It didn't really do like a whole lot, but just having him there, kind of like scaring EG a little bit too, and Sumail just being in the front lines, getting caught out by the pounce and the Slark. That's very big for him. Like you said, 18-minute Shadow Blade. It might actually be a thing now, just because of that huge net kill, like 700 gold from the Invoker. And they even get a tower, and you mentioned they do get side too. So small gains for EG, small gains for Complexity, and definitely some mistakes there from EG trying to go for these double plays. You know, they tried to make this setup on the top lane, they missed the setup, and then they go for this like play in the bottom lane. So they definitely were a bit like split decision.
Right, and on the other side, like they could have just chilled when he missed the roll, but instead he goes for the boulder smash. He continues running in after missing the boulder. Then relocate has to be used to try and save him, save the Earth Spirit. So
yeah, like if they
fighting off forward lane. If
they hadn't like even gone for those top plays, they would have been able to outnumber Complexity in the bottom side, and it would have probably been a different setup.
Probably 3-4 heroes die there for call, and then EG take that tower.
Yeah. Now, you know, it's definitely a big change up here. Z-Freak even finishes up a full max, so his team fight potential and Complexity grows in a very large margin there. The next step is getting that Blink Dagger on Monk. He's not horribly far from. He's 800 gold away, but
he's pretty damn poor though.
Yeah.
So, never went for the Iron Talon, roamed constantly. Z-Freak even had a faster blink as a quote-unquote support dying. Florida.
Yeah, Z-Freak got like the 20 mark last game. Might be around the same similar time. But Z-Freak, I mean, he's trying to do his job here. It's tough for him, definitely in this type of game, just because of the heavy movement potential from EG's lineup. So he does have the mech, as I was mentioning. He's level 11 too, so he's having a pretty decent farming game. He's up on the net worth somehow. I actually don't know how he has 54 CS on an Undying. That's pretty surprising.
He's smoking straight towards the Roche pit. Swindle's there to tank it. Ideal hero to do tank that gank, but that might not be it. Z-Freak dropping the tomb. It's on the high ground. Good positioning. EG don't really have many heroes to focus it down. Can they find Universe? A crush could set up a kill. There's the pounce as well, but a beautiful boulder smash. Crit runs out of mana. He got up the magnetize into the vacuum, but it's not enough damage. Complexity, heal right back up the mech from Z-Freak, making the difference there. So they blow the wall. They had the magnetize, and now Complexity straight into the Roche pit. Even contest. They're gonna try for it, I think. Sumail TPing bottom, or maybe it's just split push.
Probably just split push. I don't think they're gonna make it in time to contest this, but Crit looks like he's in position to try to do something. The tombstone is gone. Everybody's starting to get beat down a bit. They do have the illusion to be able to scout out inside the pit, but Moo does have that Shadow Blade up. He's able to get the wraparound on Crit. He's able to get the setup. Arteezy getting the burst on Z-Freak. Sunstrike off the mark, but yeah, easily kill there. Moo misses the pounce.
We'll see a big kill though. Arteezy has no escape mechanisms prepared except for an IO relocate perhaps. The IO, keep him alive for now with the tether. Will be fine for the moment, but they're very low. Moo fences around for anything to go back in. There's an amp on Arteezy, but now he heals back up. He's got the mana to work with as well. Boulder Smash connecting on Moo. He's currently able to hide in the Shadow Dance. Now the Shadow Blade. Looking forward, looking for the pick. Could move on to Crit, maybe just kill off that Earth Spirit, but the balls are hitting him. They know he's in the neighborhood, and meanwhile, the vacuum comes in. 3 heroes into the ice. Well, beautiful combo with the Deputy Blast as well. With the counterplay perhaps for Moo, bringing them all low. Can he finish anyone off? Arteezy's working up. Zai also about to drop the Banish. Should finish the job, but still they've lost their Slark. They've lost 3, and Zai actually not going to die to the Banish. He heals through it all, survives and cancel with the Hurricane Pike away, but Sumail on the chase has a Sunstrike at the ready. They relocate forward. This could just set up for that very Sunstrike. He's gonna drop it a little bit too late. Sumail not connected. It's not over yet. Zai trying to get out as the relocate expires. Won't happen, but again, the vacuum from Universe isn't gonna be sufficient. Another Banish but cancel, kiting him out. EG, they've bit off more than they can chew. They'll drop 4. Ay, caramba. It could have been 5 the other way, Giannis.
That was definitely a bit of a big cocky plays by EG there, just trying to like fight so much, but Complexity doing a really good job of just like cutting them around. Like Z-Freak's positioning with his tombstones, with his mech, healing up buddies, the soul rips as well, and cancel, the astrals from cancel, the hurricane pikes from cancel as well. Everything was just like very well set up by them and just split up. That was actually pretty incredible how they ended up winning the fight.
Universe got, what was it, 3 hero vacuums in that fight and they still didn't win? Yeesh. Impressive how long the IO's surviving as well, I do have to say.
Yeah. Unfortunately, the big problem for Complexity. Oh wait, they might actually be able to get it set up here on crit.
Good sign by Swindles to follow this one up, and Arteezy committing on the Swindles, but the banish
He's gonna die.
Cancel with the saves, 2 more kills. EG heavily punished and straight into Roche, and this time it looks like a freebie. Universe surging away from the pit, and they see it, so now they know the Roche is theirs. Jeez.
It would have been
faltering here with some of their decision making and not on the same page.
If Sumail had landed that Sunstrike 2 on cancel, it probably would have changed that entire situation that happened bottom if he landed it on the OD Astrals.
I don't know, did they know Monkeys had Blink? Because I think he just, did he have it the last
He
one?
didn't have it there. No, he hadn't picked it up yet. He picked it up like right afterwards. He even has 1,400 gold more after that, so that's definitely a
So maybe they got
swing.
caught off guard by the Blink first. I mean, to be fair, it's 20 minutes, but
yeah.
could have been the ambush they weren't expecting.
Cancel's having some really good plays with the Astrals and with that Hurricane Pike
Under
usage.
attack.
It just shows you how big the OD pick has been, and explains why you were like, alright, this draft is already a lot better as soon as we saw the OD.
You can just feel the power of it too. Like their heroes just benefit so much as well from S and Sora. Like the Undying's able to have pretty much full mana in all the fights constantly. Slark did the same thing obviously because Sprint procs it too, so he's able to get crazy amount of crushes, which sometimes maybe he wouldn't be able to. The last strike is just like this hard 5 last strike, but he's okay on the network. He's not struggling too hard. He's got good levels too. He's level 11 now.
And they really do need him just to Edict Towers, because all these other heroes are terrible at taking objectives.
Yeah, the next big thing that they need is like Moo needs to get the kills in these fights. Like he died pretty early in that bottom engagement, and then everybody else died afterwards. So his team benefited a lot from him, but and he definitely needs to in this type of lineup because it can't just be canceled.
They're gonna show Moo mid. The rest of the team smoking ahead of him, and they walk straight into Arteezy, but he's already raged. He's prepared for this. Good defensive Astral with the Sunstrike set up on this Swindles. Now vacuuming back to Z-Free. Commits the Greaves. Hammer gets dropped. Magnetized as well. Cancel rushing into the fray. Directly on top of Zai. Modeling down the ball of light. We'll get that first kill. Now turning back to Arteezy. The Boulder Smash. They can't deal with this OD. He's still got the Aegis available, but Monkeys drop low. Magnetized will finish him up. Continues to tick. Who's gonna drop? It's a triple for crit. He takes the whole team down on his own. The hero spirit delivers. And Sunstrike. Not gonna find a kill.
Very aggressive blink forward by Cancel there. Crit getting a beautiful magnetized spread there. But wow. That the way that they fight there with the Tombstone is actually great. EG's suffering a little bit to just take it out, and the zombies are starting to add up quite a bit. And there's not really like heavy burst potential on the side of EG unless they have the Invoker there. Like they really need Sumail to be inside of the fights while it starts. But Complexity just keen on just running at them, kind of getting the fight started when EG's not expecting it. But I think if EG is able to get the fight with all 5 heroes, it'll be a different story. But Complexity's still doing a great job of taking the fights on their terms rather than the EG's. And they're doing this without any wards on the map.
Whew. Well, this is more what I was hoping for, not what I won't say I was expecting with this series, but
Big swings.
yeah, it was a big back and forth. And for Complexity, I think you have to say, definitely have to feel a lot more confident that they were down this much to EG, already down 1 game, then again down in game 2 and about to lose the series it looked like, but now they've battled back. They still have the Aegis for 2 minutes. Mind you, Cancel felt immortal in that last fight, with the help of the Undying. They might try for one more play here, Yannis. They did some time for it. So what is the game plan? Like, where do you want to smoke? Who are you trying to gank? What's your target if you're Complexity?
I think if they're just able to take the fights, like as long as everybody's not there, it's like probably when they see Sumail go for like the split push, that's their go time. They go for a smoke and try to look for people. But they still need to just make sure that Moo gets these kills in these fights, and he survives throughout the end of it. Because again, in that fight, maybe he was there for like 1 or 2 of the kills, but he didn't get any of the last hits there. He's still quite underfarmed, only sitting at 8,000 net worth. Getting caught up on by the Earth Spirit on the other team. He's going for that Echo Saber, he's pretty close to it too, but yeah, I think the big thing is just like to fight away from the Invoker.
Moo taking advantage of this opening where he can help de-ward around the map Swindles, using that Slark vision to his advantage, though he gets pretty nervous. Towards the pit, poking that observer once, and he'll let the illusion do the work, so trying his best not to feed is the last track. Both teams slowing down the pace. And as far as item progression goes, other big items to mention, Sumail is incredibly farmed.
Yeah, he's got
the eggs. Yeah. Also an ultimate orb. What are we gonna see here? Are you expecting a Lincoln Sphere? Is this a Hex? Or not going for the Octarine buildup that we've seen a lot of Invokers favor.
Yeah, definitely a bit interesting to see that. I think it's more than likely just going to be the Hex. just because he's going to be able to just grab whoever gets grabbed down in that. It's just easy combos. And he already has a defensive item with the Yule Scepter, so I don't think he'll go for the double, but it could be a possible.
The Infest Bomb, Smokaroo from EG, look for the combo, the Vacuum into Magnetize. Could be massive. Even a Dire Scan, are they going to walk into it before it expires? Crit, he thinks about heading in the jungle. Well, that could have been big for Complexity, but they actually go the other way.
Age is reclaimed, that's why they go for the smoke button. They know it's going to be getting taken out right
Broken,
now.
Crit with the instant jump, up onto the high ground, straight onto the OD ball. Here's it just the lost that Ages, as you mentioned, Z-Freak though. He will pop down the tomb, already the pipe committed. Z-Freak's got to push away. With the tombstone down necessarily, it could be bad. Crush comes through, but tomb fully destroyed. OD has BKB now though. This could be the game changer for Cancel. He jumps back into the fray, but it's before the BKB actually arrives. They're bringing this Undying low. They finish him off with the Deafening Blast. Cancel. Yeah, he's got BKB. Does he really want to fight? Sumail just get a Ghost Walk away. That's a 10-second charge down the drain. They also lost Z-Freak around the tower while that was happening. So Tombstone down, BKB blown, Slardar dead. They have a 5v3 power play now, and they are going to use it.
Definitely a very smart smoke clip from EG. Like you can tell they even recognize the fact that they need the Invoker to be getting into these fights, but they definitely had the timer, and they're like, okay, Aegis is getting reclaimed, let's take a fight as soon as that happens. They did. They don't get the kill uncancelled, but they do take out 2. And you can see how tough it is for Mu in this game. Like, he can't really get into the fray, get into the fights, because the nature of his hero versus the side of EG. Like,
I mean, Invoker, Earth Spirit, and this is before potential X.
Yeah.
Although, let's see, what is he? Yeah, it's a Linken's actually.
It is a Linken's. Okay.
But look, so much AoE from Invoker, Darkseer, and the Earth Spirit. You said you come in the fight. If you don't die, you're too low to fight anymore.
Mm-hmm. Trying to think of why he would go for the links. I guess just to block like some couple astrals, drop the amplified damage every time. It's just going for like super safe plays.
It lets him split push a little bit easier, I suppose. Oh, Yule Scepter, yeah, that's. There's no like reliable single target setup, so I'm a little curious.
Yeah, I mean, it's just super safe. It gives him, gives him more instant stuff. Like gives him more mana regen, so he doesn't have to worry about like OD burning his mana with the ultimate or anything like that. Never been heavily concerned.
When you're just ahead as Invoker and you can spin, it's always nice.
They do have a sentry down the lane. Mu almost gets grabbed by. They actually pick up a gem on Swindles and put it on Mu. So this is probably the best approach that they could go for. Clear the map control from EG a bit. Make sure that they can actually farm a little bit. Now top lane Swindle, and you're dead. And Sumail even gets the Sunstreak kill again.
At this point, I don't think it's over.
Yeah, why not? More levels. He's getting close to that, level 22 when he gets the AoE Deafening Blast.
Definitely makes a big difference. So he'll push out the bottom lane now. Sumail being very efficient around the map. 10, 2, and 6. 121 CS, topping the charts in all categories for both teams.
The tough thing is, like, even though Complexity obviously wants to fight on their terms, it's hard for them to push the lanes out of in this manner. Like, if they're showing the Slark, and he's the one who's pretty much their best one other than the OD to push the lanes out, EG knows that they're not going to be fighting in those positions. So, and EG has easy potentials pushing lanes out with just like the Forge Spirits and the Ion Shell naturally to force the lanes into their side. So we haven't seen Complexity really pass the river in into the game.
There's actually been 2 games where it feels like EG have the better map control. Either the Alchemist Illusion Spam and Split Push, or in this case the Forge Spirits BOT. The IO obviously being a big part of these types of strategies, but something Complexity definitely has struggled to deal with is that split push, that map control, and constantly having the creep equilibrium advantage.
It's definitely a bit scary to fight into Complexity's on just cancel. They have to get him blown up instantly inside of 1 stun, but Monkeys now shows his face in the front line. EG's all in the area.
Move constantly fencing around to the sides, trying to find that squishy IO. The BKB committed by Cancel. He's
in
gonna
the back line.
But he does get on Desai. Can he focus Desai down pretty squishy and will end up dropping? That's a great pick by Mu to start the fight. Instant buyback though. Look for the re-engage. The Meteor trying to roast him. Definitely blast a bit late. They will find the kill on Monkeys, but he will skirt away, salvaging the gem, at least for now. Z-Freak though in trouble. Boulder Smash comes through, trying to bring him down. He's about the fight. Cancel forces him to roll away. Swindles charges back in, but Z-Freak also about to fall. That's 2 supports down. The Hammer gets dropped, making some big kills the other way. Swindle's still alive through it all. The Bandits by Cancel saves him. They'll get all 5 with the dieback on the IO, and they keep the gem. There's some gold for Mu.
Yeah, this is absolutely massive for Mu. This gem pickup is genius too. Like they're able to make sure there's no wards on the high ground or anything. Mu's positioning in this fight was great. Like, he ran in from the backside, able to isolate the Wisp, and then Cancel, just super aggressive there. With the Blink Dagger, he knows there's no way they can lock me down in this. So he just blinks in, gets like 9 or 10 hits off on the Darkseer. He has, I think, 65 int stolen at one point, or maybe even higher than that.
5,500 damage.
Yeah, that OD ultimate crushed 2 or 3 heroes on the side of EG. That was definitely like what Complexity needs to come back into this game, especially since the Slark survives throughout all of it, and Bro should be respawning within the next minute or so.
Well, really shows that they need that reliable lockdown for the OD. Like Hex, potentially an Abyssal Blade for Lifestealer, though getting to him can be a bit of a problem. But no longer can they just rely on like the Cold Snap, the Vacuum into Earth Spirit Boulder Smash. These cutesy little combos are not going to cut it first OD.
The crazy thing is too, like how much the Flesh Golem amplifies OD's damage too. Like he was standing next to Darkseer, and Darkseer gets apart by the Arcane Orbs just from that.
And he's gone like tank mode too. He's got
Yeah.
the Pipe, he's got the Greaves.
And Complexity is very keen on fighting, but they don't have their OD here. This could be a little bit over.
Pretty an easy pick with Monkey's jumping in, but no, the Boulder Smash is there. Back on back, moves in trouble, does get the IO though. 1-for-1 thus far. Now Chase Arteezy getting those free stacks. That's and shift. They will disengage, so a Slark who I will call more of a support at this point. So technically supposed to be a core, or an IO. Relatively even trade.
Yeah, it was a very aggressive to go for a Swindle. Actually lands the stun on Arteezy. He's got the rage up. Those Scepter or Glimmer Cape on Swindle Melons is able to bring him out of that. Cancel's now in the area too. So.
And by the way, EG has no detection, so this is very powerful for Slark as well as Swindles. Glimmer Cape, the Silver Edge. They haven't bought a gem yet, huh?
No,
I think so.
I haven't really seen them buy many sentries either. There we go. Crit now picks up a couple. And he has his Yules finished up too, so he's got easy setup. He's got his own survivability too. But now Roche is up.
Maybe Invis is EG's Achilles heel. We saw it last game with the Moonlight Shadow saves. No. Glimmer Cape plays, but Swindle got.
Yeah. EG recognizing the fact that Roche is up. The OD ult is going to be coming up very shortly too, but they still want to try to make a fight happen. They're infested crit, and they're still very strong. As long as they get the fights taken in a better manner.
Same fight. This time though, OD will have BKB at the start of it, even if he does get scouted. Crit, flopping down his ward.
She's
There's
the
a
courier.
courier there. Oh, he didn't actually see it.
Yeah, it's actually hidden in the fog too. Cancel in a decent position, but the ward is seeing him. Crit might will for this instant lockdown on him.
This is going to be a tough
He gets
kill.
BKB
They're
up, he
going to try
does.
for it, so they get the bash here by Arteezy. They're going to need it. Boulder Smash, pulling back. He pops the BKB, but this time he's a one-shot. Sunstrike I heard going off. Z3 gonna find the get blown up by Sumail. He has to buy back immediately. Beautiful Deafening Blast. Good combo damage here.
He's dead though. He actually gets isolated and brought down by the Slark and Leshrac. The Slark
He's
combo.
gonna duke it out with Crit. Now the Boulder Smash pull back. Good magnetized by him. Cancel pretty low. No BKB. Can't confidently roll in this time.
Is under attack.
Force up the buyback there. Just walk away. Could have been worse. They almost lost OD.
Cancel almost dies instantly before he gets his BKB up there. But yeah, maybe like they did get the They even got the bash on him too. So he's just tanky enough with that plate mail that he picked up to not be brought down there. Now he even has the full Shiva's gun finished
That's
up.
why you get the plate mail before the Mystic Staff. Speaking.
This is starting to look pretty scary, to be honest, for EG. Like Arteezy's starting to fall off quite hard. Move pulling ahead of him for the first time in this game. And now they do have the Blink Dagger though for the Darkseer to get those wombo combo setups, but
There's another Aegis to work.
another Aegis now. And Cancel is just bringing it back.
This OD is a problem.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you... We're going to see an Octarine on Sumail, so no Hex still. No Abyssal Blade for Arteezy. He's been dying a lot. Also, still no Gem to deal with Moo. I don't know if they have the best heroes to carry it, but...
I think they don't. I think they just don't have the money for it. I think one of the supports probably wants to pick one up now, especially because they feel very pressured with the way the Complexity is moving on them.
Who's done a really good job at crawling back into this game. Has not died in a while. He's still not farming that well, but does have a big impact just by, I feel like more by vision than by, actually carrying directly.
Yeah. Crit in a very aggressive position here. Not going to get spotted out just yet. Gets a very aggressive ward down, but Moo is in the area with the gem. They do get the stun, but he's got his Dark Pact already going off. This could actually go bad for
good.
EG.
They brought in 4 heroes. They're going to lose Zion relatively early in this fight, but he relocates back. Crit gets amped and now tries to scramble away into the trees, but they can keep the vision. The second he TP's out, they'll know it. Blinking back. He'll retreat.
How'd they all live there?
That was a get to the chopper kind of moment.
Yeah, seriously.
They got out.
Very close to being a bit of a disaster for EG.
I thought they might lose like previously.
Yeah. At least one guy there, but no. Very good at escaping. Nice tornado, nice ice wall by Sumail to at least get the defensive plays coming up.
And that is the power of EG's lineup. They can go for these aggressive maneuvers. They're a very mobile squad around the map. And if it doesn't look good, they're...
Yeah. They did get one ward down, but instantly dewarded by Moo's gem. Or Swindle's gem, who just on Moo. So yeah, EG's playing it very blind. If you look at their vision on the map, they feel pretty pressured with their map. They don't really know what's going on that Complexity's doing.
We're going to BOT into the bottom lane. There's no tower to grab, though. That was already taken. And now the two top will be traded. See Moo. Scotty complete. Starting to get to that late game Slark. Gonna have a big window here if he opts for a BKB. They won't have many tools to deal with him.
Yeah, this is where you kind of want to like match up the cores. You know, the Lifestealer versus the Slark. Slark right now is in a heavy winning position. The OD versus the Invoker, probably pretty even. Maybe I'd say pretty even actually. Yeah, because Sumail just got the Octarine. Maybe OD just because the way Cancel's been playing might have that little bit edge factor, and on top of the Aegis too. And then the other ones, yeah, like Slardar comparing to the Dark series a bit behind, but Slardar is, you know, he just needs to be able to weave in and out of the fights and get multiple crushes off. And Complexity's doing a very good job of keeping their wards and keeping the vision and just understanding EG's movement on the map. They've got four very aggressive wards.
Look at these wards. That is huge. And honestly amazing to me that EG is still not tried to invest in like more map control. They have a lot of money in the universe. He could buy a gem. Not opting to. Even the IO has the gold, but looks like EG would rather try and win fights through raw items than a vision advantage.
Swindle even picks up, okay, he picks up a full pipe for himself. Interesting. He already has the Glimmer Cape, but I guess they feel like the magic damage potential on EG is very high, and they're not really worried too much about any physical damage because of how hard Arteezy is getting shut down. But Arteezy now finishes up that Abyssal Blade, which I was going to say was the next big surge item for them to be able to get a nice, easy lockdown through that BKB on cancel. But still, the Aegis is on him for another what? It's actually going down quite soon.
Smoke, they want to take advantage of this thing. Split push comes top, crit. Chilling in the trees for now, maybe trying to set up a gank as well. So, as you mentioned, very close to losing this Aegis any moment, and as soon as it disappears, maybe we might see Universe just go rushing in with the vacuum combo.
And this is the one good thing about having the last strike here. No real building hitters, but Edict is one of those things that just kind of kills a building in that 10-second duration by itself.
Makes up for the OD, even the Slark. On that objective taken.
Yeah.
Alright, Yannis, well,
we got a game.
It's game 2.
Yeah.
I mean, I won't say anyone's lives are really on the line, even if you get 0-4'd in the worst possible position. You're still in the same 16-team bracket, but how are you liking Complexity's chances? Are you seeing a game 3 on the horizon? Is it anybody's game?
I'm seeing a game 3 on the horizon for sure, but it's really up to how the fights get taken, and it's up to if EG is able to claim, like this next Aegis makes a big difference, because if Cancel's able to have it, it makes it so hard for them to really do anything to him, because then he'll get the Aegis and he'll even pick up another item on top of that very soon. So the next item he probably gets is what, like AC, if he wants to go for something like that, because they already have the pipe on the last track and everything too. They've got their magic resistance, got Guardian Grievous and all that on top too. And then, yeah, Moo will probably go for more of like a lockdown basher build. And this could be huge for Complexity here. They pick up a DD on the Slark. Their Aegis just got reclaimed from Cancel, but EG looks like they want to fight.
Do something here. They want to make that move on the Cancel. They've got it completely changed on him. He BKB'd. He looks to turn. They do get the bash off from Arteezy. He actually has the completed Abyssal Blade. Still Cancel able to kite control through this fight on the backlines. Crit getting off the Magnus has the boulder smash through. The wall gets dropped, and on top of it all, Monkey's Forever stands strong for now. The Undying Heal. Tornado connected on Arteezy. They try to focus him down. They will blow him up. The Meepo rolls in. Sumail's still at full HP, working in tandem with Crit to bring these other heroes down. Move, surviving, bouncing back into the fray, and now Sumail wants to run. There's a double buyback by Complexity. Desperate to win this fight. They've committed a lot, but it looks like it should be the full 5-man wipe for them. A triple for Moo, who never died. They hang onto the gem. He suddenly got 3k gold. I imagine overall net worth-wise, it's pretty close since they double bought back, but still a win here, about a 2,000 gold swing going their way.
That was really cool plays there by Crit. He gets the stun obviously on the OD, but then he walks over and throws Undying in the air. They made a very good job of just like constantly throwing like people up making sure they can't get their spells off in like a great manner. They bring cancel down because of it, but now this is the momentum, the complexity.
They have no wall, they have no buybacks aside from Earth Spirit, with no Magnetize, mind you. This is at least one lane, Giannis, maybe two.
Yeah, it could be, yeah.
Fleshrack is here, so Swindles can make short work of these structures. He positions properly, can only be hitting, well, mostly hitting that melee racks anyway, or for buildings with the Edict, and then head right on towards bottom. EG about to get double racks by complexity, up by 10,000 gold. They led early this game. They led actually peaking around a 12k gold lead at sub 30 minutes, but it has become all complexity all the way now. Crawled back into this game on the back of a really good OD performance by Cancel. Supporting Cats playing well around him. He just really been the map control that has hurt them, where they keep on trying to take fights outside the base, frequently relocating into 4 or 5 complexity heroes, doing it blind, and still, even now, no semblance of map control going their way. I mean, just look how dark the map is.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, Cancel's owning so hard in this game. Like, Mu in that positioning in that last fight, too, is perfect. He's had, like, ever since he picked up the gem, it's been, like, a whole new move.
Can't be letting Mu do this. Freely scouting out crit, getting essence shift stacks, jumping away, trying to play very fearlessly. Oh, look at this. Solar Crest now. Interesting build by him, as they're going to try to find monkeys forever early in this fight, but again, the saves come out from Z-Freak, drops the tomb. EG thinking of running. Sumel's going to try to focus it down, lobs up the tornado, will connect on the Slark, but even with the Meepo, he's going to back away. Lincoln's already pumped, they've committed the pipe, and still the chase forward. Monkeys wants to go. Mu jumping in, there's the leap, connects on crit, looking for more. They're going to have a crush soon. Monkeys chasing, the urn comes through, but it's a bit too late. He does get the crush. Will the follow be there? Zai with the tether out. EG, oh, trying to retreat, but Mu's got your back door covered. They'll sweep in with the drive-by. Suddenly 13 essence shift stacks and complexity. Kill after kill.
From 2 and 5 to 11 and 5 on Mu. It like pretty much right after they picked up the gem of True Sight for him. I really like this. I love this pipe pickup too by Swindle. Like, it really is true. Like, EG's lineup is pretty much all magical damage now because Arteezy's having a really tough time actually getting into the fray. Undying's doing a great job of healing up his teammates. They've got so many different like Force Stabs, Glimmer Capes, all these different like things to just save their buddies. And now Z-Freak even picks up his own full BKB on this Undying.
And now Arteezy really needs some MKB because there's the Solar Crest to worry about. You've already got the Shivas to mitigate his damage, even not to mention things like Glimmer Cape saves, running away with Silver Edge, and yeah, EG, limited detection options. Yeah, they've got a couple of sentries on crit, but it's hard to reliably get those off in a scattered team fight. So complexity cramping on their Aegis. Dare I say it, this is their game to lose. They are in full control. They've got the Rax advantage. It certainly seems like, barring a godly vacuum boulder smash Invoker combo, they've got the late game advantage. Also got the Aegis power play now.
Yeah, now it's like it's a bit easier for complexities, like ease of execution. Just they're able to just kind of run in with their heroes rather than having to get like this huge wombo combo thing. They just need to like just survive long enough to be able to dish out enough damage. And then EG, once the rage is down, once all their big cooldowns are over, that's their time to shine with the Slark, able to weave in and out of the fights. And I think even picks up a full BKB on the Slark too. Pretty much impossible.
This gives Mu so much freedom to move around in the fights.
Mm-hmm.
The only lockdown they even have is Abyss. If you're using that on him, then real damage dealer is going to go ham in the fight.
Yeah, you can feel like how, obviously because the Aegis picked up and everything too, you can feel how pressured EG is. They're completely locked in their base, and this is complexity's go time.
I do want to mention Z-Freak also has a BKB, so complexity, it's clearly been like a team call. I imagine probably Swindles.
All magic.
Yeah, they're all magic damage. They have very little BKB piercing disable. Let's get Glimmer Cape, let's get Pipe, let's mass BKBs, and we're pretty much unkillable at that point.
And also to point out, EG never picked up a gem of their own.
I'm sure I sound like a broken record at this point. I've been bringing it up for like 20 minutes.
Yeah, it's like they keep buying some sentries and stuff, but the gem is the big deal. Like as soon as Complexity picked it up, that's when their comeback kind of happened.
Especially when you're up against the Slark with the gem, it's not like you can just plant sentries everywhere. He's just going to deward them.
Yeah.
If your heroes aren't physically there to fight.
Walking up on the hill, taking the range racks, all 3 lanes pushing in onto the side of EG. Feeling very strong here with their Aegis, with all their items picked up.
Very disciplined, quite patient.
That swing, if you look at the net worth, holy crap. Not over a quick like one fight engagement, but over a 15-20 minute.
Gonna work on move here though, but again, these cancel banishes just infuriating if you're EG, really. That's the other thing. It's not just like the big ultimates we've seen from him. Just the astral saves this game is so big.
Saving all over the place. I think he saved Swindle five times in like 3 fights.
Swindle's always on the back of the sun.
Yeah.
Maybe a meal.
Maybe a meal.
They'll push in the top lane now. Complexity.
Yeah, this is the other 2 lanes obviously already get forced in because of the 2 Raxes that they have moved. Looking for a type of pick off here in the bottom side. He's gonna run into Crit, but Crit does have Artesian invested in.
Like in a little surprise.
They can have some patience, but they definitely want to be able to force in the lanes and then go for this top when they have the Aegis, when they have the cheese. They have it for another 2 minutes.
You should definitely be trying to take Mech. You've been winning fights without the Aegis. You've already got the 2 lanes of Raxadand. All lanes are pushing. This really seems like the time. EG are not going to leave their base. Maybe they try for a smoke wrapper on when you commit, but wait too much longer, then you're just trying to do that same push without the Aegis. Slark backed off the wave here. Lexie's still fencing around.
They have the full AC on Courier.
That was maybe the item there.
Doesn't have room for it though.
Yeah, I don't know what he dropped the BOTs, I guess.
Maybe he'll just set the Courier near him, and when he dies with the Aegis, just grab it up for those little plays. You see Moo with that Sentry Ward on the high ground.
It's starting to feel a little tentative. Complexity. Gonna BOT cancel in. Courier swinging forward. Moo threatening to jump, but not just yet. Universe, wall there, 50 waiting, he vacuum, definite blast, wall, magnetize, the whole enchilada onto Complexity, dropping the ball low. Cheese comes out though, Loki surviving, Moo, BKB now charging forward, looking for those extra shift stacks on design, will bring him down, Swindles runs in, raining down the pain with the OD hammer and more damage to follow. Sumail, back, focus, almost dead, Invoker, oh, a leap forward, BKB still going, won't matter, that's 4, and there's no buyback, GG. I mean, that was like the dream combo from EG on his.
That was perfect.
They just didn't have to follow up.
Yeah. Undying Tombstone down, he's able to just free reign heal, throw that as many decays as possible, and yeah, it's too much when they have these many items. They just pop their BKBs and they're pretty much immune to the whole combo after the stun and the silence comes off. But wow, I have to say,